Someday, Washington's gas tax of 37 cents a gallon will probably disappear. That's because the tax will be generating less money as cars become more efficient. To replace the gas tax, Oregon is seriously exploring a pay-per-mile system. So, could that happen here? Here's King 5's Joe Fryer.
The Columbia River doesn't just flow into the ocean. It runs between states. Beautiful boundary line that makes it easy for drivers to distinguish between Washington and Oregon. Ann Haley's Explorer can also tell the difference.
Okay.
Thanks to the discrete device.
I was surprised at how easy it was to install.
It's plugged in just below her steering wheel.
It knows what state because I chose to make it location specific.
That device is part of an Oregon pilot project that's testing ways to replace the gas tax with something called a road usage charge.
The idea is to pay for the actual roads and the miles that we drive.
Even though Haley lives in Walla Walla, she's taking part in the pilot because she spends a lot of time driving on the Oregon side of the river.
I'm in and out of Portland all the time, and so this is a real-life situation for me.
Thanks to the GPS in that device, Haley's only charged for the miles she drives on public roads in Washington, and her grand total is offset by what she already paid in gas tax.
Get an invoice in the mail, and it works just like the way I buy electricity.
Oregon is now testing a few methods.
Here we got option 1, option 2, and option 3.
A couple use GPS to track how many miles people drive, but privacy concerns also prompted non-GPS options.
It's about a year and a half old.
Starting in 2015, Oregon could turn this idea into law for new vehicles getting 55 miles a gallon or better.
It's 100% electric.
That would include electric cars, which currently pay no gas tax.
We have always been on the side that we want to pay our fair share of road taxes.
Here in Washington, electric car owners just started paying a yearly $100 flat fee. That doesn't sit well with Jeff Finn. His family owns 2 electric cars.
We're paying more than what I consider our fair share.
The wear and tear on the roads is not equal, so why should there be a flat tax?
The Seattle Electric Vehicle Association would rather see a pay-per-mile system, like the one being tested in Oregon.
There's no reason why all cars should not be taxed by the amount they use the road.
Washington is paying close attention to Oregon's pilot.
So far, very simple.
In fact, 20 Washington drivers,
It seems to work fine,
including Haley, are testing the technology too.
We can learn from the information that they glean from their early tests and hopefully apply it here in Washington State.
They know it works. The question now,
is it appropriate for the state of Washington?
Drivers are already expressing questions and concerns.
That doesn't sound like a simple plan to me.
About privacy.
That's more information than they need to know.
And the impact on rural drivers.
All those issues, they have to be resolved to everybody's satisfaction before we can go back to the legislature and say, we think that this is a worthwhile option.
It's not an urgent issue, but with new cars and trucks expected to get 55 miles a gallon by the year 2025, it's a looming problem that will someday affect every driver on both sides of the river. In Vancouver, Joe Fryer, King 5 News.
Early research shows rural drivers might actually save money with a road use charge. Still, the state wants to take a few more years to study the idea before deciding if the idea is right for Washington.